Courtside post game by Dan McHale, assistant coach for Lobo basketball, and an outstanding Lobo student athlete in McQuatch Malawach. And gentlemen, felt like you were right there. And Coach McHale, a nice run to get the team within 7 there in the second half. Just couldn't quite get over the hump tonight. What, from your view, was the difference in this one?
Yeah, proud of our effort, and obviously give Nevada a lot of credit. They're playing really well right now, and they put us on our heels. You know, our Achilles heel has been a transition defense all year, and to be honest with you, anytime we're playing 4-on-2, 4-2, it catches up to you. You know, the difference in the game wasn't the three-point shot. It was 2-point field goals. They got a lot of open looks at the rim that unfortunately we gave up, and give them credit.
I love that you said that you're proud of the team's effort, because I really did see from opening tip to the final horn, the effort was there tonight, start to finish, and your guys were right there with a good basketball team.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, obviously, everyone knows we're going through a very, very tough stretch, and it's easy for these guys just to say, you know, forget about it, let's just mail it in. And they're not. They're showing up every day. They're going to work. You know, we're a different team than we were a couple months ago, and that's okay. Like I just keep saying, we have to just keep trying to eliminate little mistakes that lead to big mistakes, and then the floodgates open a little bit.
Coach, you knew that transition was going to be one of Nevada's strengths. Yeah. What was the strategy going into the game to stop their transition offense?
Yeah, we've got to stop the ball, and we got to run to the rim. We got guys, unfortunately, that don't understand that we've got to protect the rim first and then fan out. They're a very good three-point shooting team, but they had us on our heels just going downhill and getting into the teeth of the paint. So, you know, we worked on it. Unfortunately, some guys didn't have some legs today. I'm not sure why, and, you know, they made us pay.
McQuatch Malawach is with us as well, and Quatch, Jalen Harris had a terrific first half, but I thought you guys defended him better in the second half. What was the discussion in the locker room at halftime about how to, you know, contain him a little bit? He had 18 first half points and didn't get really much going until pretty late in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, we made adjustments, and we try to get the ball out of his hands and make other people beat us. But, you know, credit to them. Some of the other guys made some timely shots, and, you know, credit to them.
And that is a great point. Coach McHale, in particular, Meeks, with what he did from three-point land. Obviously, they didn't win it at three-point line, but those 4 3 balls were
and the kid, give him credit. He was shooting 9% from 3 over his last 5 games, and he's made, I think, 7 against us in the two games we played him. So give that young man credit. He's been going through a little freshman slump, and he really shot his way out of it today. He's a good player. You know, we had a couple lost assignments on him, a couple times get 2 on the ball, left him open. And he just had to see the ball go through the rim. He was definitely a guy that made us pay.
Jaquan Lyle, I thought, bounced back very well today. It's been a tough few days for him since postgame after UNLV, and for him to respond the way he did, what did you think?
Absolutely. Give the kid a lot of credit. He's been under a lot of scrutiny, and it's been well documented, and everyone has understood. He hears some of the complaints, but he's a kid, and that's what we have to remember. So it was his choice to come off the bench tonight, which I thought showed a lot of maturity, and then he led us all night long, and, you know, hopefully this is something that will spark him down the stretch here.
Quatch, another great effort for you tonight. I know you guys didn't get the dub, but efficient shooting for you tonight, 5 of 10 from the floor and 5 rebounds. What about your performance tonight? What did you like, and what's the focus for you as you look to get better for the next one?
I mean, I just got to stay aggressive, and I thought, you know, just take my matchups, you know, shoot the ball when I'm open or drive it, or if it's not there, just keep moving it on. And I thought I did that tonight. Like, sometimes it doesn't show, but, you know, showed a little bit tonight.
Well, one of the things that you do often from where you catch the ball on the floor a lot is drive it. But I do feel like here recently that you've been getting into that Mountain West logo area and shooting that 10, 12, 14-foot jump shot more here recently. Is that something that you guys have talked about, you and the coaching staff?
Yeah, just look at the percentages. I shoot way better, you know, 2-pointers. So, you know, I just got to try go to that. Just play to my strength and go from there.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach McHale and McQuatch Malawach. Brief pause. We come back with Coach Weir after the timeout. Lobos fall 88-74 to Nevada. Lobo basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network. Here in Dreamstyle Arena, the Pit. Our guest is Lobo head coach Paul Weir. Coach Weir, I'll ask this first. Your opening comments for the media upstairs after this one, a game that you guys hung around and had a chance. You cut it to, I believe, 7 there at one point in the second half with an opportunity to come back in this one.
Yeah, no, I felt like every time we were trying, we were knocking on the door. It was like every points we got, we had to really earn, and they would just come down and make just a great play. They were. We worked so hard for our points and unfortunately missed a lot around the rim, and it just seemed like we were earning every point we got, and they would just come down and just make a smooth pull-up jumper or a smooth shot, and just, their ability, in those guard positions. Drew, to make some of those pull-up threes in transition were, just exceptional. Harris, everybody knows is a great player, but for him to kind of come up and go 4 for 5 from 3, Meeks has not shot the ball well lately. He was making step back threes and getting great plays, and they just had some great players step up and make some very well timed shots. Every time we got it back to one of those, boom, they'd nail a very big jumper, pull-up three, whatever it might be, and you have to credit them a little bit for having they're very good players.
Coach, we talked about this, I guess, the beginning before the game, that this was going to be a transition type of game, a guard-oriented game.
Sure.
What was the strategy? Was there any strategy to try to get some touches to Corey? Corey Manigault played like 31 minutes and took, he only had 3 points and 3 rebounds. Was it that they just took that offensive?
Yeah, we just unfortunately I think we just missed a lot of layups tonight, and I think it hurt our confidence all the way around. I think it affected us at the defensive end. It's hard to go miss layup, rebound, miss layup. Thought we had at least 3 of those tonight. We just missed a lot of little bunnies, Corey included. We couldn't get anything to go down around the rim. And you got to credit their bigs. Their size, I think, bothered us around the rim. And unfortunately, we didn't really bother them around the rim. And they had their tip-ins and they had their plays around the basket. And I thought that 2-point percentage, threes were pretty much identical. Obviously, they made a couple more. They're 13 for 34. We're 11 for 34. But the 2-point percentage was just different. And it is. And they are able to get to the rim and finish layups, in traffic. Our traffic isn't as big as their traffic, but still they made them. And unfortunately, we just could not get a lot of layups to go down. And we got in there, and I don't know if it was just lack of confidence as it kept going, or you have to credit their defense for just really collapsing inside.
What was your strategy to try to stop them in transition, D?
Gosh, try and take good shots. I think every quick 3 we took was like a layup at the other end. It's all we talked about going into the game. And
Shot
when
selection.
you make a mistake on offense, and I just told the guys after the game, I thought they took 5 bad shots tonight, and we took 14 bad shots tonight, and that's the game, because that bad shot is a very good look at the other end, and those ones we settled, particularly like the one-pass threes or the quick ones, and all of a sudden we didn't even get set up, and they're coming down the other way. They're just backbreakers. They were against UNLV, and they are again here tonight.
Jaquan Lyle, you asked him to come off the bench tonight, and we know it's been a trying couple of days for Jaquan since the UNLV game. What did you think of his performance and how he's handled things?
I thought it was better, obviously. I think offensively this was a little bit of a better game for him, just as far as a lot more places he was getting the ball on the floor. I think I've showed him the numbers. You've alluded to it as far as numbers pre-JJ, numbers post-JJ. But the biggest difference is pre-JJ he didn't shoot as many threes. It was a lot more to the rim. It was a lot more in the post. And he's just become settling for just too much on the perimeter. And it's easier said than done, because now we got to try and find a way to get the ball to him down there. And there's not a lot of guys that can get him there. So that's kind of the trick we have, is finding a way to get him better shots. It's just finding the right guys around him to help us get it there. Because right now he has to assume a lot more ball handling duties than he did, pre-JJ.
When you guys closed the gap in the second half, he was getting looks around the rim and some post-ups.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Nevada adjusted. They went to a zone and kind of took that away.
They did. I think both teams were going back and forth between man and zone all game long, and I think anytime either of us stood in the zone for longer than a couple of sessions, like somebody scored and it opened up. But you're right. When we got kind of stuck with a smaller lineup, they went zone. We really didn't have anyone to throw it inside to, and we got some decent looks. I think Keith had some good looks. It just didn't quite go down tonight. Vance had some good looks. It just didn't quite go down tonight. tonight. You know, we had some decent threes that for us to win, they have to go in now. This is not – our margin for error is not what it once was. They all have to go in now. You know, we need those breaks. Those balls have to drop not only from three but the layups around the rim. We can't afford to look up and have 6 missed layups and 4 or 5 horse shot threes not go down and expect to win anymore. We just unfortunately just don't have that kind of margin.
Hunter and I talked about this tonight in games like this where the margin is thin, and Saturday against UNLV will be another example. We thought that the Lobos have to do the things that don't involve making a three as well. They need to be hungrier than they've ever been on the glass. They need to be hungrier than they've ever been on the loose basketballs, the balls on the floor, the hustle plays. Where did you see your team in that category here tonight? You know,
I thought everybody was pretty good. Corey has been battling the flu really going into UNLV and since, and unfortunately he just didn't have it. You know, the free throw blockouts, he just, our rim protection as it is a little limited, and tonight it just wasn't quite there. I'm hoping that's just we can get Corey back here at some point, because without him, there's just it's a small team and we don't have much rim protection. Our 2-point percentage defense has just done a complete nosedive. Obviously since losing Carlton and without getting any kind of rim protection, teams just have no remorse about just going inside and punishing us there on the glass and at the rim, and we need him. So tonight, I think outside of him, I thought everybody else did a pretty good job, but I would like to chalk his up hopefully a little bit to just not a lot of gas in the tank.
What were there, if there were any adjustments on Harris after he had an 18-point first half?
Yeah, we started trapping the middle ball screen to get it out of his hand, and then they kind of went away from middle ball screen and put him in the post and did an adjustment there. And I mean, shoot, he's making a tough fadeaway jump shot going baseline side. I mean, he's a good player, and it's hard to account for him because he can do it in so many different ways. He can use a ball screen, he can play in the post, he can drive, he can make threes. Just kind of that versatility that he has makes him a hard guard. And in the first half, he really hurt us in some ball screens. As part of the reason we went zone to slow it down. Then we trapped it coming out of half, and it actually worked. We got some stops early out of it, but then they adjusted, put him in the post, and at that point, it's just hard to account for him down there consistently because of just how good he is.
He picked up his third foul kind of right early in the second half, and I thought maybe was there a strategy to try
we
to
needed
go at
that
him?
Fourth. I thought we had it in transition, and then those are the ones you need. I mean, like I said, you need those. We're not going into this game as 10-point favorites. You know what I mean? We're coming in as whatever we are, and we need a call like that. We need a call like that to go our way. I think a lot of his that he had picked up were just kind of junk ones here and there. His number has always been 3. We've looked at his foul trouble stuff, and he's about a 3-a-game guy, and that's about where he was. Hopefully, if we could have had that one, it would have been big for us.
I asked Hunter this as a former player. I'm going to ask you as both a player and a coach about the memories of officials to the extent that you can comment. But the previous play that I can recall, they were pretty close together. Harris takes it hard. We get the charge, and he doesn't say a word. He just hands the ball to the official that made the call. The next time it happens, same situation, he gets the call. Is there anything to that type of thing and the way that the way you comport yourself and the memories of officials?
Yeah, you'd like to hope not. Each play is judged independently of its own.
Thank you.
Do different officials have personalities that, those might impact them? Maybe so, but I think even they would never admit that to you. So if that's the case and he did it and it worked, good for him, savvy veteran play. But hopefully officials just call each one independent of the other.
All right. We'll finish with this. You've got another tough one on the road coming up in Boise with an extra day to get ready. Have you seen any wavering from your team in this tough stretch that it's in terms of what it's giving you on the practice court?
It's a great question. I just talked about it in the presser. We've had some interesting games. You guys have obviously been here. You were at Colorado State. You were at UNLV. You were here for San Diego State. There's been a lot of games where, even from your seat, you might think, what's going on with these guys? But there's never been a timeout I've walked into, a huddle, a meeting in the locker room, anything like that where I didn't feel really good about us. I still did, even if people on the outside might have been like, uh-oh, these guys quit, or these guys do this, or these guys do that. I still felt really good about the energy I was getting back. UNLV was the first time I was a little worried. I didn't like the energy coming back, and I felt like whether that's confidence, whether that's the losing adding up, whether it's just the drama of all this stuff taking its toll, UNLV was the first sign. Tonight I didn't feel bad about it, but again, I'm not going home at night going, we're in this great place. I've just got to find a way, we've got to find a way to inject this team with as much enthusiasm and energy for the next week, whatever it is now left, to just make them feel good about themselves. It's been an interesting season in a myriad of ways, and all we can control now is our effort for the last 2 weeks and do everything we can, and not let this stuff accumulate to the point where the on-court product just sinks. And I know in the past it may have looked at that, but I've never felt that way.
Coach, paint the picture for these last 3 games. What's the goal? What are you trying to, the vision for the team, for the players? Here's where we are. We got 3 games left in regular season. What's your goal for?
Yeah, I think we started it going into this game as far as you hate. And we've said it too many times on this telecast, we just have to acknowledge that certain guys aren't here, and it's no longer a taboo. I don't know if I can talk about it. I don't know if I can or can't, and you can or you can't. But, today we went through all the numbers. Here's where we were before. Here's where we were after. We need to clean up these areas after. We're small now. Get over it. Live with it. Right. Deal with it. Mm-hmm. We need to find a way to rebound. You know what I mean? We're not able to score around the rim as easy as we could before. We've got to make sure we finish strong. We come to stops. We finish with 2 feet. And I think we just have to remake ourselves. I think there was a little bit of a period where you wanted to kind of hope it wasn't going on, or you pretended it wasn't happening, and you keep working. But I think we're at a point now where we all have to acknowledge it's just not the same. So it's a different deck. We have this hand, and now we've got to play this hand as best we can. Let's have great effort. Let's play basketball the right way. Let's take good shots. Let's take care of the basketball. 11 turnovers tonight, not bad. We're trying to go 12 and under.
The last few games, you guys have really taken care of
the basketball. Let's just play good basketball. Yeah. We can't control everything. I can't control whether you can make a turnaround fadeaway jumper in the post, even though the other guy can. God bless him for it. But we still have to play good basketball. The free throw block out is something that cannot happen. Physically impossible for us to.
Exactly. On the basics.
We have to rebound the ball, take care of the ball, and take very good shots. Do we have the total equipment right now to do that? Maybe not, but it doesn't matter. We have to work towards it. We finally have some practice time going into Boise. We just got to keep working on having better offensive possessions, better defensive possessions, keep these guys as positive as they can, and just learn from this, and learn and grow and develop. In a different way, it's exciting. They have 5 seniors. We have 2. So, they have all, a lot of guys that they're going through it. We're down to a couple now, and it's good to see an E-Man get out there and Avante work through stuff, and Keith McGee and all these guys that earlier in the year they weren't getting opportunities. They were already thinking about next year. Now they have an opportunity to really take advantage of this and then use that as next year, and now they're that further ahead, there is an exciting part to that. This part sucks. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. It hurts. It burns. It does all those things you do, but you also have to hopefully look at some positives here and try and keep these guys in a good place the rest of the way.
We look forward to Boise.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Lobo head coach Paul Ware, our guest. Your post-game show welcomes a brand new sponsor, the Crown Room at the Downs Racetrack and Casino, your post-game host for Lobo basketball. All right, it's time for, as always, post-game, your Toyota Drive of the Game. Toyota, let's go, please. Long rebound, won by Keith McGee. McGee sprinting across the court. McGee sprinting to the rim, scoring and drawing contact. That's what you love to see, Hunter. You talk about it all the time.
Transition, take it to the rim.
There it is, your Toyota Drive of the Game. Toyota, let's go places. Keith McGee got just his second start of the year, responded with 34 outstanding minutes, 11 points, as McGee had 5 boards and 3 assists, did not turn it over once. McGee delivering your Toyota Drive of the Game. All right, the Casino at the Downs, First Turn Lounge, has it all. Karaoke Tuesdays and Wednesdays with cash prizes, live music Fridays and Saturdays, Ladies Night Thursdays, and with 30 screens, your game's on. And there's a daily simulcast as well, happy hour daily, and all day Sunday. All right, can the Lobos deliver the kind of effort they did tonight, Hunter, all day Sunday in Boise?
I think, to answer the question I asked Coach Ware is focus on the basics. Forget about Vegas and the Mountain West Conference, or forget about Boise. Can we get better at boxing out or guarding man-to-man or whatever those basics are, and just focus on that and try to keep a positive attitude in a situation now that it just kind of is not positive. So try to find those positives, right? Some of those things that are feel-goods and try to move forward.
One of those, 4 double-digit scorers tonight. Led by Jaquan Lyles, bounce-back game, scores 16 points, buries 3 threes, and has 6 rebounds. The Lobos got the 11 points from Keith McGee, I mentioned. 4 field goals, 2 of them threes. He had 5 boards, 3 assists, 0 turnovers. Vance Jackson delivers 15 points. He made 3 threes. He had 4 boards. He was a perfect 4 for 4 from the foul line, 2 assists, and 2 blocks for Vance. And McQuatch Malawach, 5 of 10 field with 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Zane Martin chipped in 9 points, 7 boards to lead his team, and 3 assists as well. Vontae Hendricks, 9 points off the bench. He made a triple, and he was perfect at the free throw line, 2 out of 2. Let's see, 3 points for Corey Manigault, 1 of 6 floor for Corey in 31 minutes. Manigault with a tough shooting night tonight. Fans, join us for our next Lobo Talk. It is coming up on Thursday. That is just a couple of days away, and we want to see you at our new home, brand new home, starting Thursday, BJ's Restaurant and Brew House, Thursday, the 20th of February, 7 to 8 p.m. with Coaches Bradbury and Weir. Lobo Talk. For more information, visit golobos.com. All right, Hunter, we're headed to Boise this weekend. It's a tough place to win, but the Lobos have done it before. Why not this weekend?
Why not?
That'll do it. For Michael Carlisle, my on-site engineer, Mike Vitale, my broadcast producer and engineer, my broadcast partner, Lobo legend Hunter Green, I'm Robert Portnoy. We'll talk to you on Sunday from Boise State and the Lobos on Sunday, Feb 23. Our airtime 1:30 Mountain Time with the pregame show, 2 p.m. with the tip-off. The Lobos fall here tonight to visiting Nevada. New Mexico dips to 17-11 and 6-9 in Mountain West. The Wolfpack improved to 17-10 and 10-5 in league. Final score, Nevada 88, Lobos 74. So long, everybody. You've been listening to Lobo Basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network.